Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 Vivian Riddle Lansing Juneteenth Essay Competition and Scholarship Program. It's a pleasure for us to work with you once again this year on the Preparing the Essay workshops, and we look forward to many of you viewing the workshops. And what I'd like to do to get us started is just to share how the workshops are set up this year, and also give you some feedback as to who will be doing the workshops and the dates and the times. And this way, when you go into your documents, which are all on the website, when you go into your rules and guidelines documents, when you open that document, the first page that's going to come up is going to be the workshop page. And so that's where I'm going to be starting this afternoon. And my name is Deborah Plummer. I am the chairperson of the Juneteenth Education and the Children's and Youth Activities Division. Now, in the past, you've known us to do the Preparing the Essay workshops, and we actually this year have changed how we do the workshops, where you'll be able to access the workshops on video. And I think that that's a welcome change for, particularly when it's hard to make the times that are scheduled. I think it will allow you to be able to view the workshop sessions as much as possible and when it's convenient for you. So we hope that this change is a good one for your schedules, because it really is based upon us talking to parents and what's been working well. Just like putting all the documents on the website has worked really well. That was a nice addition last year, and we are continuing to pursue that this year. So welcome. Our first workshop is today, March 6th, 2024. This is going to be workshop number 1. And the topics for this particular workshop is rules and guidelines, which I'll be doing. African American history, the 400 years before Juneteenth, which Mr. Ernest Connerly will be covering. Juneteenth history and also answering Juneteenth essay questions will be covered by Ernest Connerly as well. So our second workshop will take place March 20th, 2024. That's workshop number 2. It'll be on a Wednesday. Both videos will be released on Wednesdays at their respective dates at 5:00 p.m. And the topics for workshop number 2, writing the essay, and your host for that session will be Rebecca Stimson. And then answering Juneteenth essay questions will be the total group. Scholarship information will be given by myself, Deborah Plummer. April 3rd, 2024 is the workshop number 3, and that's a virtual Zoom meeting at 6:00 p.m. All of our essay hosts, myself, Ernest Connerly, Rebecca Stimson, will be available to answer any of your questions that you have at that time. And we will have a discussion, make sure that everybody's comfortable. And if your parents even have questions, they're welcome to come on, ask their questions. But the workshop number 3 will allow us to be open and available to you. So that would be definitely myself, Deborah Plummer, Ernest Connerly, a Juneteenth Education Committee member, and also Rebecca Stimson, Juneteenth Education Committee members. So we look forward to seeing you, particularly at workshop number 3. Workshop number 1 and 2, you will be able to review after 5:00 on those dates, and those will be available for viewing. So let's get started. So today I'm going to be covering the rules and guidelines, and as you know, as in the past, for those who have not participated before, and this is your first time, our essay participants are separated into 4 groups. Categories 1, 2, and 3 are under the same rules and guidelines, and then category 4 is your scholarship group. So that's separate. That's a separate group, and The rules are the same, but there will be scholarship guidelines and so forth that they will also need to follow. So that's the difference. Category 1 is age group for grades 6th grade only, category 1. Category 2 is grades 7th and 8th. And then category 3 is your 9th and your 10th grade essay participants. Now, coming with the winners, when you win an essay, there's going to be awards paid. So it's very important to follow the rules and the guidelines because many times points are taken away just because the rules and the guidelines are not followed. So let's try to get all the points that we can and make sure that you understand what your rules and guidelines are. And upon completion of your essay, I would also say it'd be a good idea to have a parent, an older sister and brother, or a friend go back through to ask you the questions to make sure you follow the rules. Okay? All of this will help you gain points if you are following the rules and the guidelines. But let's talk about awards for a minute. For category 1, your 6th grade group, the award values for first place winner is $75 cash value. The second place is a $50 cash value. Category 2, 7th and 8th graders, the award values for those winners are first place $100, second place $75, and then category 3, grades 9th and 10th, the award values are first place $200, second place $150. Category 4, and this is for the scholarship winners. It's a little different, but let me cover those so that everybody kind of hears those up front. Category 4, grades 11th and 12th. We have 2 scholarships, and you have to determine which one you are competing for. The first scholarship is the Juneteenth Bellamy Taylor Academic Talent Scholarship. The award value for first place winner is $500. Second place is $400. Along with that, if you need assistance with scholarships, and I'll be doing a scholarship session for you, I will tell you how to get that information. Our next scholarship that we're proud to talk about is the University of Olivet Academic Talent Scholarship. Now, the award value for your first and your second place winner is going to be a full ride scholarship for tuition only, $30,000 per year. Again, for your first and your second place winner for the University of Olivet Academic Talent Scholarship, the winner will receive the winner for first and second place, I'll emphasize that, for this scholarship will receive up to $30,000 tuition, all tuition paid, which this means for your academics, for your classes and the cost of your classes and things like that. So this will cover your tuition for 4 years. So this $30,000 is $30,000 per year. So just want to make sure that you understand that it's just not the first year that you arrive. That is up to $30,000 of tuition covered per year for 4 years. All right, now let's get down to the nuts and bolts of the rules that we need to follow. And it's always good to know the rules up front when you apply for anything so that you kind of get that down in your head. So as you're working the process, you're working your essay, following the information we've provided, you have this down to begin with. So essay writing requirements. Essays must be the student or your original work. Plagiarism will not be accepted, and there is going to be information on plagiarism that Rebecca Stimson will cover. And be sure to make sure you get through those essay writing workshops, essay writing videos that have been prepared for you. And that will be in course workshop number 2. The essay must be completed and formatted per the student application checklist. And the checklist is going to be on the application, and we will show you that application. So the checklist is on the bottom, and this information I'm covering is on the checklist. Your essay must be double-spaced with a bibliography listing all references used. And again, Rebecca Stimson will cover that information on the essay writing piece for workshop number 2. Your word count cannot be less than or exceed the category range or the required number of words per essay for your category. So let me give you your word count for category 1 for our 6th graders. Your word count is going to be an essay of 300 to 400 words in your essay. And then you are to answer 2 questions for your essay for category 1. All essays, you are going to be required to answer the question, what is Juneteenth? So all 4 categories, just be prepared to explain that as you are designing your essay and as you are coming up with how you are going to communicate that information in writing. So category 2, this is for grade 7th and 8th graders. Your word count for your category is 400 to 500 words. So when the rules indicate that your word count can't be less or can't go over, that is basically what it says. Follow the rules. Category 3, this is grades 9th and 10th grade. You're going to, your word count for your essay is going to be 500 to 600 words. Stay within that guideline. No less than 500, no more than 600. Now, category 4, this is for our scholarship, our talent and scholarship folks. The grades 11th and 12th grade, your word count is 600 to 800 words. No less than 600, no more than 800. That's the rule. As you continue up, going higher up in education, you're going to find out that the rules get to be pretty strict on staying within your guidelines. So we start training you here so that you are prepared as you continue to move up per grade level. When things get to be a little more detailed and things get to be a little more stringent, you are used to following the rules. Now, the other thing that you need to pay attention to is your wording that you use and the size. So the requirement for your program, you're going to use a Times New Roman or Arial font. And then your word size should be 12 points or 14. 12 or 14, don't use the 13, just use a 12 point or a 14 point, okay? Double spaced with a bibliography listing all references used. And again, Rebecca Stimson does a really good job telling you how to document your references. So that'll, of course, come in part 2, workshop number 2. And it must be submitted in Word or PDF format only. So we have to stay within a given format so that the judges can make sure that your wording, your font and everything falls within the guidelines. So these are the programs that you need to use when you're submitting your essay is a Word document or a PDF document. If you use something else, we may not be able to accept that because the judges have to have a set format. And then your essay has to come complete when it comes in. So if you use a format other than this, what happens is you're asking somebody else to reformat that for you, and we won't do that. Okay? All right. All essays must have a title and stay on the topic. Essays will be judged on the correct use of grammar, spelling, punctuation, and originality. Ernest Connerly will cover how to answer the essay topics, your questions that are given that you have to answer throughout your essay. He does a good job with explaining by category how to work with answering those questions. Pay close attention to that. It's very important. Now, the things that you do not include in your essay is no maps, no drawings, no pictures or graphics should not be included. Okay? Now, let me move over to the scholarship winners and go over a few extra things that are on your checklist that would not apply to category 1, 2, or 3. So category 4, your grades are 11th and 12th grade. Pretty much everything that I covered up to this point applies to you as well. However, on the checklist, it also indicates as well, this is also on your application. You must indicate which scholarship you're applying for. You can't just check off both. It's got to be one or the other. So if you're applying for the Juneteenth Bellamy Taylor Academic Talent Scholarship, check that off. If you're applying for the University of Olivet Talent Academic Scholarship, you check that one. Can't check both. The other thing that's required for those who are applying for the University of Olivet is a transcript. It doesn't have to be the final transcript, but they will just need a transcript to review. If you're in the 11th grade, you won't have a final transcript, but you'll have your grades up through the 11th grade. So that is acceptable. For those who are seniors, you more than likely will have all of your final grades, or if you haven't received them, a transcript of what you do have, Olivet will accept at that time. And then you also, for the University of Olivet, you have to apply to the college. You have to apply to the university admissions through the admissions office. And then they will also cover with you how the scholarship is handled. So there will be a discussion if you have other grants, and if you have other scholarships that you received, all of that has to be taken into consideration also with the admissions office when you have your appointment. So those are just for the scholarship winners, some things that we need to adhere to. Now, let me talk for a minute here about when things are due. Your essays absolutely have to be they have to be submitted, and you can submit your essay online by going to the Juneteenth website, www.lansingJuneteenthCelebration.org. And then when you go over to the menu, click on education and then essay. And there will be for the essay participants, there is a click or place where you click to deposit or to attach your essay. And then you'll get a confirmation once that's done. And then we'll receive a confirmation on our end that it's received. So April 13th, and you have up to midnight if you're submitting from home. For those who would like to submit a hard copy, you can still do that. And you can do that through Capital Area District Library, the Let's Community Center, or the East Lansing Public Library. So those are placed drop-off points, but you must submit them by their closing time so that they can get it checked in and notify us to pick it up. So you do have two ways of submitting. We try to make it convenient for you if you want to just submit at home, or if you want to drop it off, whichever you prefer. Now, let me also just share with you that there will be an award program for the winners. Each person who participates, each student, I should say, who participates into the Lansing Mrs. Vivian Riddle Juneteenth essay competition and scholarship program. Everyone who participates will receive an acknowledgement of participation. So everyone will get something for participating. The winners, those who write those exceptional essays and get all of the points, those who move to the top and move to the winner category will receive, in addition to their cash award, they will also receive other gifts from the education subcommittee and from the Juneteenth committee. And there will also be an award program on June 13th, 2024 at Lansing Community College. Time is 6 o'clock. Now, students that have previously won an award in the same category are not eligible to apply again for that same level. However, if you're moving to a new category, for example, let's say you won in category 1, and that's a 6th grade. Now you won in that category. You are eligible to move to category 2. If you won in category 2, you're eligible, and you're moving to category 3, you're eligible to write an essay in category 3 and try to win in that category. But if you've already won in category 2, and let's say you're 7th grade, then you're not able to participate until you move to category 3 when you go to the 9th grade. Okay? So just important that you understand those, how the competition works. And again, we're looking forward to a good competition year. We want to make sure that everyone gets the help that they need. And again, all of the documents are going to be available on the Juneteenth website, www.lansingJuneteenthCelebration.org. And go over to your menu to education and then to essay, and all of the information is there and provided for you or for your and your parents. And then we also will verify receipt of your essay within the first 7 days when the competition ends. We will verify and notify everyone that we've received an essay from. You will receive an email notifying you that your essay has been received. So that is your confirmation that you are in the competition. And then from there, we're just looking to have a great essay from each of you. We're looking, again, for a good competition year. I hope this information has been valuable to you. Please, this is your starting point. And after this video, the next video that's available to you is the African American History video for the 400 years before Juneteenth. And then after that, the Juneteenth history, as I indicated, and then the segment of the video, which Ernest Connerly does a good job with teaching you or sharing with you how to answer the essay questions. So this is Deborah Plummer on preparing the essay workshop. Part 1, I did the rules and guidelines for you today. and we look forward to seeing you soon.